Hey, what if the real key to fixing our struggling neighborhoods wasn't some huge top-down program, but actually something a lot closer to home? Well, today, we're going to dig into a really powerful model for building stronger communities from the ground up, one local business at a time. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so let's just start by talking about a feeling a lot of us probably share. You look around your own town, and maybe you see empty storefronts, or there's a lack of really good jobs, or maybe there's just this feeling of disconnection from your neighbors. The thing is, this isn't just happening in one or two places. It's a challenge people are facing pretty much everywhere.
And all of these challenges, they're deeply connected, right? Finding a job that pays a true living wage, that's a massive source of stress. And of course, that's going to impact our mental health. When we're struggling, what do? We often pull back, and that leads to feeling lonely and isolated. It all just kind of adds up to this loss of purpose, not just for ourselves, but for the places we call home.
So that's the big question, isn't it? When the problems feel this big, it is so easy to feel overwhelmed. But what if the answer wasn't some giant, complicated solution from way up high? The model we're exploring today suggests that real, lasting change starts much, much smaller. It starts right in our own backyards.
Yep, it starts at the neighborhood level. And the main tool for this change, it's something we are all super familiar with, but it's used in a new and really intentional way: the local business.
Just think about it for a second. Local businesses are already the heart of our communities. They bring in money, they create jobs, they provide services we all need. But what if we completely reimagine their purpose? What if their number one goal wasn't just to maximize profit, but to maximize the well-being of the entire neighborhood? And that brings us to the core concept here, the generative business. Now, the key word, the most important word here, is intentional. This is not about just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. These businesses are specifically designed from day one to be worker-owned and worker-directed, which gives power and purpose back to the employees. And, crucially, they are committed to paying a true living wage.
This chart lays out the difference perfectly. See, on one side, you've got the traditional business model, which is often extractive. It's designed to pull value out of a community for some external owner somewhere else. But the generative model is designed to create and circulate value within the community. The goal isn't just profit, it's literally about seeing people and the neighborhood flourish.
Okay, I know this might still sound a little bit theoretical, so let's make it real. Let's look at a fantastic example, a simple corner grocery store.
So we're heading to Sherman Park in Milwaukee. Now, this is a neighborhood that's been designated a food desert, which basically means that for a lot of people who live there, just getting fresh, healthy food is a real daily struggle. This is exactly the kind of place where an intentional business can make a world of difference.
See, Sherman Park Grocery doesn't just sell food. It intentionally stocks fresh, healthy options and actually takes the time to educate its customers about nutrition. The workers make a point to know people by name. They even built an outdoor patio just so it could be a place for neighbors to hang out and connect. They're not just a store, they are a true community hub.
And this quote just gets right to the heart of it all. The business activities themselves, the day-to-day stuff, are the tools for building health and well-being. It's not some side project or a little charity thing they do. No, it's the absolute core of how the business operates every single day.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but how on earth does a small business like that survive, especially if it's committed to paying a real living wage? And that is a critical question. Luckily, this model has a very smart answer.
Let's be real. A single small business is vulnerable. The margins are incredibly thin, and one or two unexpected problems can be totally devastating. This model doesn't ignore that risk, it acknowledges it head-on.
So how do they survive? They don't go it alone. The model builds in two layers of protection. First, you link these small businesses together into a network where they all support each other. And second, you partner that network with large, stable institutions that are already in the community.
So let's just walk through how this network could be built step by step. You start with that grocery store. Then you add a commercial kitchen that supplies it with ready-made meals. But hey, that same kitchen can be shared by a small restaurant, which cuts costs for both of them. Then a local urban farm could supply fresh produce to all of them. And finally, maybe you add a laundromat that not only does the linens for the restaurant, but also provides a much-needed service for the whole neighborhood.
You see, by linking together like this, they create their own tiny, resilient ecosystem. They share equipment, they create their own efficient supply chains, and they cut their costs. Each business helps the others survive and thrive. One business might have a slow month, but the strength of the whole network carries it through.
Now, that second layer of protection comes from what are called anchor institutions. So these are the big, often nonprofit or public organizations that are rooted in the community. Think hospitals, universities, city governments. Because they aren't going anywhere, getting a contract with them for something like food service or laundry provides a stable, predictable stream of revenue that makes the entire network stronger.
Okay, so this all sounds pretty amazing. How does a community actually start on a journey like this? Well, the great news is, neighborhoods don't have to figure this all out by themselves.
There's an organization called the Generative Local Community Institute, or GLCI, that helps guide this whole process. And their philosophy is so important. They don't come in acting like they have all the answers. They truly believe that local communities know what's best for themselves, and their job is just to support that local vision.
Their support really comes in three concrete ways. First, they help set up a local team so that all the decisions are made by the community for the community. Second, they facilitate a process to help that team figure out exactly which businesses would best serve their neighborhood's unique needs. And finally, they can provide the absolutely crucial startup funding to get everything off the ground.
And at the end of the day, this is the ultimate goal. It's not just about creating a few businesses, it's about empowering people. It's about giving communities the tools and the autonomy to build their own future, a future filled with health, connection, purpose, and genuine flourishing.
So I'll just leave you with this to think about. What are the unique needs right where you live? What kind of combination of businesses could really help your community thrive? What would a generative network look like in your neighborhood?